Today I share the pleasure of bringing to you a staff development trainer, corporate speaker, and a dynamic international motivational speaker, certified classroom educator, wellness specialist, author of several personal growth and development books, and inspirational audio programs. That's quite a mouthful. As an international speaker, Andrew specializes in helping people discover their gifts by understanding our uniqueness and how we complete each other through function in the marketplace. He's well known for his ability to strategically impart valuable life lessons to impact audiences through his presentations and workshops. He's often invited to speak at international conferences for teachers, business leadership, and youth empowerment. Andrew's enthusiasm is truly contagious, said Hamilton Public Libraries. In a recent presentation to over 250 business executives, the City of Vaughan, Ontario event coordinator, recalled him as a brilliant speaker, engaging and inspiring their audience. Toronto Women on the Rise annual conference said Andrew's presentation was timely, explosive, impactful, and unforgettable. Students all over the world flocked to his YouTube channel to watch his latest science video. Many praised his ability to make difficult subject matters simple. Some even added, "Because of you, I aced my science exam." Andrew is passionate about living, wellness, and the spiritual aspects that make us function as unique individuals. Today, Andrew wants to bring out the best in you and inspire you to live the change and want to see and to have an unstable mindset to accomplishing your goals and live your dreams a practical reality. His motto is simple: create your greatest impact, go beyond, be brilliant, be more. That's a trademark. Go be more. He's also available to meet with anyone who's interested in requesting his presentation for their organization after this session. Without any further ado, please get on your feet and help me welcome our speaker, Mr. Andrew Egai. Please give him your best round of applause.
Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. I am really excited. Thank you so much. Thank you. A big shout out to Hamilton Public Libraries. Please give them a big shout out. A big shout out. All right. And for all my people out there on Facebook, I hope that you watch. Hope you get some things tonight because it's going to be amazing. All right. Just a little bit about myself if she hasn't really filled everything in. I'm Andrew, really. Okay. So all the stuff, the books and all the other stuff, all the accomplishments, I am just Andrew. I consider myself just a vessel. And so therefore, I can be a utensil, I can be a fork when somebody needs to be poked. And I can be a spoon when somebody's feeling down. They just need to be scooped up. And I can be a knife when I don't need to dissect some of the big things and break them down and make it more manageable. All right? So Andrew, in a nutshell, is that's me, just a regular guy. All right? When I am not busy hanging out with my two sons, I'm traveling, I'm doing motivational speaking, but my focus is really on helping people to create their greatest impact in the four most important areas of their life. What are those areas? Where you live, work, play, and pray. After years of reading and doing research, I realized that it all boils down to those four places. Where do you live? That's the home. That's the environment where you create that atmosphere for growth for your family. And it's very important. Where you work is really, it's where you serve your gift. You know, some people, you could be an accountant, you could be a lawyer, doctor, whatever, even a policeman or a garbage man. You're really just using your gift to serve so you can meet the needs of other people in society. Now, where you play, that's self-care. You go jogging, you go walking, whatever you do for you, that's playtime. You know what I'm saying? You hang out, you listen to some music, that's your playtime. That's where you take care of yourself. And when you pray, I always put the word any in front of pray. Because it doesn't have to be in a church building. It can be anywhere. Anywhere. You could be driving, I hope they don't put a law saying, oh, yeah, that's distracted driver. You're driving down the street, all of a sudden, Father, woo! And then you feel the spirit, you know? You might end up getting a ticket. Distracted, you know what I mean? He's in the spirit, I don't know how to write this ticket, you know what I mean? But that's me in a nutshell. One of the main platforms that I focus on is the power of community. Power of community in motion, because I think that sometimes we can have a community where It's stagnant. There is no movement happening. And so we believe that the power of community should be in motion. Should be in motion when people are moving, when people are doing things, when people are accomplishing things, when people are connected like we are right now. Okay? So today I have the privilege of bringing you to part 1. And we're talking about how to create the right balance in your work life. How do we create your right balance in your work life? Okay, thank you for coming in. We're also live on Facebook, so thanks so much. Feel free to grab a chair. Wonderful. All right. It's nothing like having parents in here. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Okay. If you didn't fill out the form, man, please put your name and email so we can keep in touch with you. Okay, there's enough writing utensils there. All right. Okay, guys, I am ready to go. One small homework, though. One small homework I'm going to give to you. If you don't get to finish it today, that's okay. Pass one down. Take one and pass one down. Take one and pass one down. Take one and pass one down. All right. And this basically is a multiple intelligence quiz. And it's publication by TC. So it's not my original, but I think it's useful that anyone can use it. It's a back and front. And as you go through, we're going to pick up on some areas. And we talk about multiple intelligence. Most people think that if you're an athlete, then you're just an athlete. That's it. We look at Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was an athlete. He still is. But then he took the other part of him and went into business. So we're looking at multiple intelligence because we want to show you the whole individual. It's about the work-life balance. And so we can't just look at one area. We're going to look at the whole individual. Are we ready? Are we ready? Yes. Okay, guys. We're going to get you stand up for a minute. We're going to get your energy up. As a classroom teacher, one of the things I noticed is that we got to make sure the children or the students, they're ready to go. Why? Because as you sit down, then gravity is pulling down on all that blood that goes to your brain. And so you get sleepy, you get tired. One of those teachers like, Mr. Guy, you gonna let's get up again? Yes, we're gonna let you get up again, all right? But what I always do when I do a presentation is get people to clap for themselves. Wait a minute, people always clapping for me. Mr. God, everyone's clapping. But today I really want you to clap for you. I want you to make that a practice. I want you to get up, when you get up in the morning, I want you to look in the mirror and give yourself a big smile. That's over 27 muscles you're exercising in your face alone. And so it makes your face happy. That's why the face is happy when you smile. It's like, whoa! All the muscles are coming together. Oh, did you get to do that? Pull a little bit more. And that's what's happening. But a lot of times we don't smile. We wake up with the bills. We wake up with the to-do list. We wake up with taking care of the children. We wake up with a laundry list of stuff. And we, the engine, we have to really look at it and say, oh, you got to do so much today. Let me stop and appreciate you and build you up. So wherever you got to drive, you'll be able to take care of yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to stop and I want you to think about something good about you. Something so amazing, only you know it. And I want you to smile and I want you to pretend like you're looking in the mirror and I want you to give yourself a round of applause because others are dead right now. You are alive. So let's start right there. Just stop. Think about something that made you smile about you and give yourself a round of applause. Are we ready? I'm already smiling. I know I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. All right? So let's do this, guys. So when we talk about, okay, you can have a seat. When we talk about create, we are creative beings. That's why we have to create it. It doesn't just happen. The right balance doesn't just happen because everyone is working, everyone is doing chores, they have so many things to do. It doesn't just happen. So number one, please put, you have to create your balance. Balance does not just happen. You have to create it. This is our agenda for tonight. We're going to unpack the meaning of life. As if you didn't know that already, right? We're going to explore, exploring the why we work. We're going to talk about overcoming the challenges, the balance, the two. and the role of wellness in all of this. All right, let's move on. Think, pair, and share. You can team up with the person that's right next to you, or you can just talk across the desk. That's fine. So, with another colleague, I want you to discuss the following. Where are you in your life right now? Just think about it. Like, where are you in your life? And as you think about it, do you want to stay there or do you want to move forward? Where are you in your life right now? Just take a moment and write it down, or just write your answer down, and then you're going to talk to somebody. Where are you in your life?
In each of those quadrants?
No, we're going to fill those in. Oh. But just where are you in your life? Yeah, those are the 7 spiritual foundation, the 7 foundation that everyone needs to have. Wellness foundation, we call it. So where are you in your life? Just write that down. Think about it and write that. Where I am here in my life. Where are you? In terms of career, in terms of spiritual, intellectual, mental, emotional, physical, social, and financial. Where are you in your life? So if you want to scratch these down, the spiritual, intellectual, the mental, the emotional, the physical, the social, and the financial. Where are you in your life? You can just put a simple thing as good. I am good. I need to change. I need to improve. I need to reduce. I need to increase. All right. So as we talk about where are you right now, basically that's an accountability. I'm taking an account. And if you've been around accountants before, it doesn't matter what's happening in your business. At the end of the year, you have to do the end of year, the fiscal, right? And you find out where are we? How did we do over the past couple of months? So this is an accountability. You want to do this as often as possible. A lot of time people say, oh, well, it's the new year. It's 2019. So I'm going to do all of these things. I'm going to get on the treadmill more. I'm going to go on the walking more. I'm going to push the plate to the side more. I'm going to do all those things I did not get to do last year, right? It's taking an account. So now you say, where am I? Emotionally, where am I? Okay? Now I want you to give yourself a 1 to 5. 5 meaning the highest. I am good. 5 meaning I'm in a good place. So from 1 to 5, I want you to label each of those on your paper. From 1 to 5. Spiritual, where are you? Intellectual, where are you? Mental, where are you? Emotional, where are you? Physical, where are you? Social, where are you? And financial, where are you? We're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to this, and then we're going to sum it up and see exactly where we are. All right? Let's move. Your attitude or your direction in life. So as we think about where we are, where is your attitude? Where exactly is your attitude and your direction in life? Do you have a positive outlook of things? Do things often affect you negatively? You can be driving down the street and all of a sudden, somebody cuts you off and the birds start flying, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Somehow they get wings and they just start to fly, right? And I don't know where they come from, but these birds are heavy, okay? And they're flying on wheels, okay? So what happened when you're driving down the street? Does it happen to you? Somebody cut you off and all of a sudden the birds are squeaking, okay? Or do you try to make sure you keep control of the vehicle to make sure that you can arrive alive and get home alive? So it's where are you? What's your attitude to these common occurrences as they happen in life, okay? Do they easily affect you, or do you have some kind of cushion to say, you know what, I can think through this, I can work through this. I don't have to allow myself or my emotion. That's part of that 7 pillars of the wellness, right? I don't allow my emotion to get the best of me. That's part of the work-life balance. Have someone's life or possession. Do you wish, or have you ever wished you were somewhere else? Have you ever sit down and wish I was somewhere else? I know in Canada we say, oh, I wish I was on the island somewhere. I wish I was on the beach somewhere. You wish you were everywhere else but Canada, right? Because it's like minus 500 degrees sometimes. It feels like it. It feels like my skin is falling off, even though I have on a jacket, right? But have you ever wished that you were somewhere else? My hand is up, yes. I am originally from Jamaica by way of Canada. My wife, if she were here today, she's from Bahamas, beautiful country, island. And so a lot of times we would wish that we were where we came from, but the circumstances doesn't always lend themselves. What about someone else's life? We wish we were somebody else. We wish we had what they have. We look at them and say, wow, they live in the perfect life. And look at mine. I have regret. I'm thinking to myself like, wow, I wish things were different. When we do that, we really haven't taken accountability for who we are, where we are, what we have, and what we've accomplished. Because as bad as it may seem, we've done something, we have accomplished some things, and we have gotten somewhere, and we have a lot to give thanks for. That's part of the balance. So I want you to write down what you discussed earlier on. You didn't get to discuss it, but we're talking about where you are in life. So where you are in life, the similarities and difference between you and a parent. So you guys can team up, and then you guys can team up. So now you can share what you wrote down, where you are. Just write down where you are. And you've already written it down, so just talk about it for about 30 seconds. Where are you now in life? That was the question. You can introduce yourselves, okay? Because I forgot to say, you're supposed to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, tell them who you are. All right. So as they discuss, they are having a discussion about where they are in their life. It's accountability to take stock of what has happened in the past month, the past week, the past day, and even go way back the past year. And so every now we want to do that, take an accountability to see where we are so we can make plans for what we want to do. And so that's kind of what we're doing right now. They're taking a little discussion break to find out where they are. It's almost like an icebreaker. So, and then we're going to get back into the presentation, all right? So if you have a comment, can't really speak to you right now, but just go ahead and leave your comments, and then whenever the program is finished, then we will come back, and then we will go ahead and answer those comments again. We're live right now, my Facebook fan. This is Andrew Guy, and we're talking about how do we create the work-life balance, the right work-life balance. We're at the Hamilton Public Library up here in Stony Creek, so we're live, and that's where we're doing the program. All right, our 30-second is up. So I understand, I saw you guys were just really involved. You were telling your stories, and there was a book coming out, right? And so then, when after the apostrophe, and there, woo, an exclamation, well, this is great, guys, wonderful, right? The people who are not here, they missed it, all right? So who want to share out? Anyone want to share out? Want to start? Who want to start? Anyone?
I'll start.
Okay.
So I shared with Rose that I feel that I'm in a good place in my life, but there's definitely areas where I can improve.
Okay. So the areas that you need to improve, can you write that down on your paper?
Okay.
Okay. So wherever you think you need to improve, I need you to write that down. Because that's what we want to make sure we work on. Those are the things we want to make sure we fix today, or at least address. Jim Rohn said if it's not written down, you're not serious about it. So once you write it down, that means you've committed in your brain, and at least somewhere in your brain, and you're serious about it. You're going to take some action steps towards it because you've written it down, you can see it, and everywhere you go and you try to avoid it, it's always going to be in front of you because you've written it down. All right? Okay. So anyone want to share, for example, where they are in their life? Anyone? Okay, I'll share. Thank you for choosing me. Me personally, come on in, sir. Come on in.
Sorry, I thought it was 7:30.
That's okay. Come on in. Come on in. There's more than enough room. More than enough room. So we're discussing how to create the right work-life balance. That's what we're talking about right now. Personal development. And so we have a form going around. If you can fill it out for us, we really appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay. And so the question we're asking each individual is, where are you right now? When you do an assessment of your life or current circumstances, where are you right now? And so they wrote that down, and then after they were talking to each other in a group as in a think, pair, share, to find out where they are so they can learn something about the next individual. And then we want to say, is it a good place? Is it okay? Or do you need to change something? All right? Okay. And we're just going to write down what's similar. Did we come up with anything that's similar between the group? Did you have something that's similar between yourself and Rose? Or did you have something similar between you and Tony? So any similarities? Everyone was different. Okay. All right. Now, it is understandable to be different and to have different occurrences, or not to be same as your other friends or pair. Now, why is that? It's different because you have different experiences. You come from different places. But did you know that even though you may be in a community, living right next to each other, right just one door down from the next person, you live in the same neighborhood and you can have completely different overview on what life is about, on your work, on your balance, your stress level. We're going to move on. We're going to come back in a minute. Traditional definition of life. We're going to talk about life because that's what we're trying to balance. When you talk about life, write these 4 things down. We have birth, born, alive, and living. This is life. Traditional definition. And as you write these down, what's your definition of birth? What's your definition of born? What's your definition of alive? And what is your definition of living? What is your definition for those? Because everyone has a plethora of definition of what they think this thing is about. What is your definition of birth, born, alive, and living? As you write that down, birth is given. My personal rendition, my personal definition is given. It's a gift. Birth is a gift. You were given an opportunity to come into the world. It's an entrance into the world. Born is when you realize that you're here. That's just my definition. Born is when I realize I'm here. And then when the baby screams for the first time, it pulls in that oxygen because it's here, right? Because it wants oxygen, so it cries, so it opens up to take fresh oxygen in its lungs. Alive is simply vital signs. I have body temperature of 98 degrees. I can see, I can interact with my environment. I can feel, I can take in the oxygen. All of these things makes me alive. If you get into an accident, God forbid, and you're on the street, and then EMS shows up, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to check if you are alive. They're already past birth, they're already past born, they're now checking to see if you're alive. And then they will check the vital signs. When they check the vital signs that you're alive, then they make whatever adjustment that needs to be made before they put you on the stretcher and take you to the hospital. Okay? So alive means that there's vital signs. I can respond to my environment. Living. What do y'all think living means? In your own words. What do you think living means? What does living mean to you? What do you think?
Well, trying to live to your full potential.
Okay.
Realizing your strengths,
okay,
but also your weaknesses as well.
Okay.
Because you have to take those into consideration. But you know, you've been given this gift, as you referred to.
Yes.
And you have almost an obligation to maximize, you know, your time here. Right?
Love it. What's your name, sir?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yes.
Andrew, thanks for coming.
Nice to
Like
meet
it.
you.
Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Let's do it. Anyone else want to add to that? Anyone else? Feel free. Anyone?
I put living is doing what you enjoy.
Doing what you enjoy.
Yeah, because for alive, I put all the stuff you did, but I said those are the expectations.
Oh, nice. So it's what you enjoy. So you're actually participating. And there's one word I hadn't put it up here, but it's participating. You can be alive and just sitting. You can be alive and just existing. But the moment you start to participate, to make purpose, to live your purpose, to bring your dreams to fruition, to make them a reality, you live it.
There's a huge difference between being alive and living.
Major difference. You can be in the ICU, you're alive, but you're really not living. You can't get up and go love somebody. You can't get up and go shake somebody's hand. You can't get up and even do a favor for somebody. You are alive, but you're not living. So what does all of this have to do with balance? We're getting there. Deeper meaning, birth. So these are the definitions I have. I said you enter earth, took your first breath, Presence of life sign. Purposeful participation. It has to be purposeful. Because when you're living with purpose, you're taking your gift, what you're good at. That's what she says, what she enjoys doing. I love this. When I'm doing this thing, I don't want to do anything else but what I'm doing. I'm enjoying this. I get joy from this. For all the mothers that are in here, you know, when you shower up that baby and you spank him on the butt, you're not really spanking him, but you spank him on the butt, you oil him down, you put the baby powder everywhere, and some mothers, they smell the baby, right? They're like, oh. And the baby makes that sound. I'm like, okay, I hope your baby don't make those sounds, okay? So, and the baby scream, and you get joy from that. Why? You're just participating. It's a purposeful participation, right? As you nurture and care. This is part of living. This is living. Now, what does it have to do with work? Let's find out. Why do we work? Why do we work? If you put that into Google in 0.56 seconds, you get over 6 million results. In less than a minute, those results will come up. This is what it says. It's an activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a what? Purpose or result. That's what Google says. And these come in less than a minute. Look how many results. Look how many people know what they know about work. But then it gives you a little sentence. I really like that. It said, he was tired after a day's work in the field. What does that simply mean? That there's some physical exertion that's going to happen when you are working. Sometimes you do get a little tired from sitting down, right? That's why as a teacher, we got to make sure students get up every so often, right? But here are some synonyms when it comes to work. Labor, toil, exertion, effort, slug, or drudgery, the sweat off one's brow. All of these things come as a result of work. And this is what stresses us out. This is why we need to get that balance. Because listen, it's labor, it's toil, it's exertion, it's effort. It requires you to do something. That's work. Okay? Now, we do it because we want to be remembered by leaving a legacy. That's another reason why we work. That's just my definition. Why do we work? Because we want to leave a legacy. The other reason why we work? To provide hope. That's what that means down there. I think that thing cut off down there. To provide hope. Because if the school teacher doesn't teach, the next generation is in trouble. If the parent doesn't parent, that child is in trouble. If the leaders of society don't do what they're supposed to do, this generation and the country we live in is definitely in trouble. That's why we work, to provide hope. Okay? I'm going to keep moving. If you need a copy of this PowerPoint, just put your information on there and I'll email that to you, okay? Let's rock and roll. All right. So, why we work again? A better meaning. Activate and use your gift, expertise to keep living. We do it because we want to activate those gifts that are inside of us. And so we can use our expertise so we can keep living. Remember, living is an active participation. And so when we start doing this, then we feel alive. We feel happy because whatever we're doing brings us joy. To be remembered by leaving a legacy, we said that before, and to provide that hope. What is the balance now? We talked a little bit about work. We just skimmed the surface. This is deeper. This is just part one. Okay? The next one we're going to do in a seminar, we're going to do it as a webinar online. So therefore you guys can log on when I go live and then there's way more information here. All right? When I put balance into Google, look at that. 0.42 seconds. Even less than before. Look at the results. 540 million. Those are the results that come from the word balance. What do they say? Even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. Think about that for a minute. You're a parent, you're working, You have all these other responsibilities. Everything is pulling at you. These things are pulling at you. And you're thinking to yourself, how in the world do I maintain stability, equilibrium, steadiness, and have the right footing? How do we do that? This is why we need to have that balance. Because in life, if I'm standing on one leg, there is more pressure on that leg. There's a lot more weight that this one leg has to withstand as opposed to me standing on two. Now, how does that make sense with work-life balance? Sometimes you feel like you are that one leg that's carrying everything. You could be that mother that feels like they're carrying everything. You could be that father. You could be that boss. You could be that leader. You could be that new person in the job, and they just give you everything just to break you in to see if, oh, where you at? Are you going to quit or are you going to stay? Right? So that's you on one leg. The balance comes when we have health. The balance comes when instead of toppling over, we have steadiness. The balance comes when health. When you stand, everybody stand up for a minute, because we're going to be moving. Because I think when we demonstrate this makes sense. So as you stand, I want you to see if you can balance on one leg. Just see if you can balance on one leg. That's it. And as you stand there, some people may start shaking. And if you stand there a little longer, you will really start to shake. What's happening? You're shaking because the muscles that's supposed to hold you up are trying to recruit help. Body naturally does that. Until you put the other leg down, the jittering stops. The same thing in life. Your body will tell you when you're tired. Your body will tell you when you need help. Your body will tell you when you need to recruit other people to help you to complete a task. All right? So when we lose our balance, I tripped and lost my balance. That's the Google sentence. What causes us to trip? When we become unstable, when we don't find our equilibrium, when we're not steady, and when we lose our footing. The footing comes when we don't know where we're going. We're just walking haphazardly in the dark. We don't really know exactly where we're going. We're just guessing. So therefore, we don't have a sense of direction. When we have a sense of direction, our footing would be firm. We are sure about where we're going. We're positive about what we're doing. It could be a project that we're working on. We're positive about it because guess what? We're going to stand up. We're going to step firm. We know this is what I want to do. All right? You guys can sit down now. Thank you so much.
Have a whole new appreciation for flamingos.
Say again?
Have a whole new approach.
Oh, yes.
Appreciation for
That's it. That's
flamingos.
it.
They
That's
can do
it.
it for days.
Yeah,
you know?
they do this for days.
Yeah.
See, I can mimic the flamingo, but I'm dark skinned, so we can't relate. So number two really is the balance is creating that legacy. Creating that legacy, you gotta have the right footing. You have to be planted. We call that building a foundation. Most people have lost their footing because they're not planted anywhere. And you get that footing from your home life. Remember, where you live, work, play, and pray. This is the first pillar of it, right? So you're planted. You know exactly why you are working. You're not just going out to make some money. You're working because you're doing more than just collecting a check. You're creating that home so you can nurture the family that you're blessed with. Hope keeps us stable. It keeps us stability. You know, you ever heard of the commercial? It's a commercial for children, let's say, for example, in Africa. And they always have these kids on the screen, and they say, send some money. I don't want to call a particular organization name, but you've seen them, right? You flip on the TV, and all of a sudden, they go find the worst kid in Africa. Nose dribbling, everything, never worn a diaper in his life, but just naked, right on the floor. And he see a fruit, and he's like, oh, God is here, right? Almost like he's never seen food before. And they get that child, they put him on there. They say, send some hope. Give them some stability. Send some money so we can give them water. This hope keeps them stable. What am I saying? The balance is what they're using to what? Keep us tripped up to make us think that there's an imbalance where these kids are so we can send resources. But how are we going to get those resources? When we are working. We have to work to get the resources we can send it. So when we work, we not only provide for ourselves, but we provide sustenance for other people. It could be something like you're sending to aid to another country, but what we're talking about is at home. Okay? Make work and life balance. In order for us to do that, we will need some mentors. So write this down for me, please. You will need some mentors. You will need people who have been there before. You will need people, what I call, not just mentor, but Sherpa. That's another word we're going to talk about in just a second. You need mentors. What are mentors? Mentor, basically, they are the mirror. They mirror your mission. They mirror your mission. They know where they're going. They've been there before. And you're looking at them and they're saying, whoa, I wish I can do what they are doing or what they have done. So help me or show me or guide me so I can mirror what you have, because I want to have the same success or even more. So we need mirrors. E, being an encouragement, not someday, every day. That's when you get up in the mirror, you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you clap for yourself, you smile and exercise those 27 muscles in your face alone. Just your face alone. Okay? It makes you feel amazing. And it releases positive endorphins in your brain. That's that feel-good stuff. Okay? And nurture new perspective. As you go through life, as you're working and you're living, you're going to have new opportunities to do something. These new opportunities cause you to grow. And so what we got to do, we got to nurture them. The new opportunities come in form of people. It could come in form of a business opportunity. It could come in form of an increase on your job or new responsibility on your job. These are new perspectives. We have to nurture them. And T, we have to strive to transform. Now, I'm a believer, and my Bible said I need to be what? Be renewed by my mind and to transform my mind. What does this simply mean? That how you used to think before, you're not thinking like that anymore. And it doesn't mean that you completely change it. You may have modified it so you can, instead of jumping to a conclusion, or when you're on the highway and then the birds start flying, instead of flying the bird, you just calm down and say that person's having a bad day. You know what I mean? That's another way. Instead of saying somebody yell at you, instead of react, you may respond. Because respond is different from reaction. Okay? We got to seize opportunities. Opportunities will come. I heard a preacher once said, she looked like Dolly Parton when I saw her. I promise you, I thought it was Dolly Parton's mama. Okay? I think I was in Mississippi when I saw her, and I said, oh, Dolly Parton is from Mississippi, right? And the way she said it, she said we need to seize the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity. When you're dead, those opportunities mean nothing. It means nothing. When we're talking about work, life, and balance, all of these are important. And the most important part, we have to be resilient. Most people fall off because they don't have the resilience to keep them going when time and things get tough. When the boss wants you to work overtime, but you already put in some extra hours because you wanted to go on a vacation. So we work hard just to go on a vacation, and then we go on a vacation, as Jim Rohn would say, we're thinking about work. And when we're at work, we're thinking about the vacation. We are never really at one particular place. And he said something that was so poignant. He said, you know what? Be where you are when you are there. I think that's worth writing down. Be where you are when you are there. Quote, Jim Rohn. That's not mine, but it is beautiful. Be where you are when you are there, as he would say.
How do you spell Jim's last name?
Jim R-H-O-N.
H-O-N.
Right. And what he's saying basically is that a lot of, I'm saying this, a lot of accidents happen because people are trying to be somewhere. They're trying to be at work before they get to work. How can you be at the office thinking about what you got to do and you're on the highway with a tractor trailer behind you? It doesn't make sense. So be where you are when you are there. And what the crux of this is to help you to understand that you can give a particular activity your full attention. Your full attention, as opposed to giving 20%, 5%, 2%, and no percent. And in the end, you don't feel like you've accomplished anything. And then when you come home from work, you feel wasted. You cannot give any attention to the children because you're tired. Yes, that happened to me too. When I get off the road, I've been driving for like 2-3 hours, I'm just like, and the son goes like, daddy, 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 daddy. Sometimes they sound like that, right? And I'm like, what? And I before I know it, I'm sleeping, just knocked out. And I need a good 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes before I can regain my strength, right? But what I'm trying to get you to understand, these are some of the things that we have to deal with as we go through life. We need to balance them. We're going to show you where the balance is, okay? So resilient. Resilient means I need to realize, another R word, I need to realize that what I am doing, I have to continue so I can get the result. Resilient. I have to keep going so I can get the results. When I get the result, someone is going to rely on me to meet a need. The result are a means to an end. But the end doesn't stop. You have to repeat the cycle again. You have to repeat the cycle. The thing that you need to understand, you have to get better at doing the cycle. The first time you go through, it may have been tough. The second time you go through, well, I need to do it a little better. So we just get better at doing what we're supposed to do. Okay? That's the resilience part. And another thing about the resilience is simply this. I was on Facebook one time and somebody showed this picture and all these dogs were chasing someone. And then the tiger was sitting back, just like this. Just chilling. And the quote says, wisdom is knowing what to ignore. Part of work-life balance, you have to know what to ignore. I think that's worth noting. Resilience is knowing what to ignore. If you're driving on the street, you cannot respond to everyone on the street, because if you do, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be shaky and you may cause an accident. So resilience is knowing what to ignore. It helps to build your immune system. All right. Invest in your life. You guys are here tonight because you're investing in your life. You've taken some time out of watching TV so you can be here. You're investing in your life. I call it M3. There's got to be a mission. The mission is to motivate, okay? It's your motive to motivate and find the mirror. Your motive is, what are you doing? Why are you doing something? And when you figure out what you got to do, are you motivated to do it? And then when you're doing what you're doing, are you going to be a mentor for somebody? Are you going to be a mirror for somebody? Because if you're not going to be a mirror, you have the wrong motive. And your motivation is going to be off. E, it's got to be every day. It's got to be every day. It's got to be a lifestyle. I can't just do it one day and then don't do it next day. It's got to be a lifestyle. Newness. Every day. My degree is in biology, medical biology. So we learn that every day we lose a whole bunch of skin cells. As you put on your clothes, some will slough off. As you lay in the bed, some will slough off. This is happening without you even knowing. As you scratch your hair, new cells are being generated every day. But here's the crazy part. Cells do them naturally. But what about our thinking? The body does it naturally, but our mind is not doing it. We're not actively doing it. As a matter of fact, it's happening in your brain. But we need to be mindful of the changes that are happening. Okay? Transformation. We have to make a difference. The body gets transformed as you move. If you're standing all day, certain muscles get worked out. Certain muscles get stronger. Okay? The opportunities, we said, is the desired outcome. Yes, we seize the opportunities in the lifetime of the opportunities. These guys right here, these opportunities as they come, you have to make sure they have the desired outcome. Why? Because as we say about resilience, we have to know what to ignore. And not every opportunity is an opportunity. Does that make sense? Not every opportunity is an opportunity. Some opportunities are just, oh, I saw that. Okay. It doesn't line up with where you're going. Does that make sense? And we said resilience is self-care and restoration. When you finish all that you've done and you finish your work day, just take about 5 minutes before you get out of the car. Just stay in your car, clear your head, don't take the road home to your family. Don't take the road home to your children. Stay in the car for about 5 minutes. As a matter of fact, if you got to check your email, check all your messages before you get out of the car. And then when you get out of the car, take a fresh breath of air. And then go in to meet your family. A lot of times, we take work, we take the road, we take everything, the frustration of the employees or coworker, and we take that into a new environment. That's when we don't have a balance. We're just mixing things at a hush-posh. We need to make sure we separate things. Okay? Like Jim Rohn said, you got to be where you are when you're there. All right, challenges and the balance act of life. What is this? Management of what? Not of time. A lot of people have said time management. Hundreds of thousands of books are written on time management. Can we manage time? Why not?
Because we're not the creator of it. It just exists.
Okay. Can we manage time? Anybody else?
We can manage what we do with the time.
Sorry, yeah.
Can we manage what we
We
do?
can manage what we do with it. How we
Yes.
take advantage of the time.
Awesome. Anybody else? Can we manage time?
No.
No? Can we stop that time? We can't stop the clock. It keeps going. So what can we manage? We can manage ourselves in time. In order for this balancing act to work, we have to manage ourself in time. The persons or the individual who have the best self-management, literally, in a way, can control time or control how much time is used on a particular task. So it's self-management. It's not time management. Okay? How well you manage yourself determines how much time you use and how effective you are with time. Okay? So we have to expand on our skill that empower us. Not just you, us. Whatever skill empower you, whatever skill that make you feel pumped, whatever skill that make you feel good about yourself, whatever skill that just raised the hair on the back of your head, whatever skill that said, whoa, just screaming out there, wow, I'm so glad I'm alive today. That's the one you need to expand on. Because you need more of that fuel. Because there's going to be days when you feel down, the day when you feel bad, when you feel just terrible, beaten up. You need those skills to say, but you know what? I know how to sing. Or I know how to dance. You can go in and put on your music and do your cha-cha, whatever y'all do, okay? You can do whatever you need to do, the skill that empowers you. Many people, they go sit on the piano and they play themselves to feel better again. They listen to a particular music and they feel better again. Whatever skill that empowers you, expand on that. Because it's like spreading out a carpet. The more of that good stuff you have, the more of it you have to stand on when times get tough. Does that make sense? So expand, so please write, expand on my power skills. Expand on my power skills. I'm going to be mindful of your time, so I'll probably go for another 10 minutes because we started at 20 after. And for those of you who need the rest of this information, I'll email it to you, okay? All right. There's way more to this, but I told them we only go for about 40 minutes. All right, so let's go. So understand, this is supposed to be your, okay? Not you, your. Understand your learning style. Not everyone learns the same. Not everybody sit down and listen, auditory. Sometimes they have to see something. I know this from experience that students have to get up and they have to participate. That's living. That's the living part. As a matter of fact, participation is one of the highest level of learning as opposed to sitting, looking from a visual and auditory. Participation. So that's why I tell you to get up every now and again. Why? I want to move that blood inside your body so it'll go back up into your brain instead of allowing gravity to pull it down. So any kind of movement that causes blood to move in your body, it helps the body to learn better and for you to retain information more. It reduces frustration. When you know how you learn, you don't easily get frustrated. What's frustrating is when there's only one particular way of learning and the teacher's only using one particular way and the other students sitting there like, that's not working for me. So you gotta know what your learning style is. And you have to communicating the hard to hear stuff, information. Communicate the hard to hear stuff. The stuff that gets you frustrated, that you don't want to talk about, it bothers you. It's in your brain. Your boss may do something, a co-worker might do something. It bothers you. Those are the hard stuff. And how do you communicate those to people? It's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. We got to manage ourselves in time. We have to expand on our power skill. And then we have to understand our learning style. And we have to communicate. Communicate the hard to hear information. When somebody says something about you that upsets you, that makes you feel bad, that try to bring down your positive emotion and make it negative, you have to make sure you have enough of this positive power so that when the negative stuff comes, you become a duck. A duck doesn't mean that you're some kind of animal. It means that the down feathers on the duck, it just slides right off. You become more resilient. When you can communicate the hard to hear information, you're better understood. Frustration kicks in when you feel that you're not understood, and when there's no understanding between you and the next person. Work-life balance. It's the challenges we face. These are some of the challenges. These are some of the core challenges that we face. We don't have an understanding of good communication on the job, so therefore this affects how we work. And then we feel like we don't want to go. And then we call and say, I'm going to use up those vacation hours quickly. All right? Okay, challenging and balancing. You got to start with you first. Don't watch others. Start with you. Balancing is about you. If you start with you, you really don't have to worry about everyone else. Because when you came into the world, there was no one around but your mama. And daddy's probably standing there in his garb, right? You know, you got to start with you. Because a lot of times we just point fingers at everyone else and we say, why are they not balancing their act or get their act together? That's what we normally say. But we have to start it with ourselves. We got to start with ourselves and balance ourselves, do a personal assessment. That's what we did when we just came in. We did a personal assessment so we can see where we are now, and if we want to move forward, if we want to move backward, or do we want to stay? We're comfortable. That's why we got to start with us. When we start with us, then this is what I call here. I call it the peasants. It's the physical. We started with us. Where are we? Physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, mental, social, and financially. They say these are the 7 pillars of human wellness. The 7 pillars. Imbalance is created when we have an imbalance in this. Frustration comes in when we have an imbalance in this. Doubt comes in when we have an imbalance in this. Communication problem comes in when we have an imbalance in this. Social problem and communication problem when we have an imbalance in this. Financial, when everybody knows, if there's an imbalance in that, obviously everything is off. Does that make sense? Doesn't normally have to be everything, but it's a big part of why we go to work. Limiting beliefs, and we got about 5 minutes. Limiting beliefs. Time, experience, and ability, and self. Limiting beliefs. What limits you? What is limiting you from taking the next step to work on that project that you're supposed to work on? What's limiting you from gaining that extra experience that you need? Maybe it's a class you need to take. Maybe it's the next course you need to take. Maybe you need to upgrade. What's limiting you? Ability. Sometimes we say, well, I really don't think I know. Show of hands. Have you ever heard the term, sky's the limit? How many people heard that? Who believe that? You believe sky's the limit?
No, not the limit, no, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
How many people believe that sky's the limit? Nobody. When's the last time you been on an airplane? Huh? September. And did the plane hit the canopy of the clouds and fall back down? It just keeps going up and up and up. And if it had a rocket booster on it, it will keep going up and up and up. I'm not sure who coined that phrase, sky's the limit, but there is no limit. We are the one that limits ourselves based on what we think. The good book, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, right? So is he. So if you think limit, you will be limited. Okay? Your vision. What do you see? I always say, don't look at what you see what you're looking at. What do you see? There was a story that said this guy, two employees went to Africa, and then one of them came back. They both have different stories. One came back and said, oh, it's so terrible over there. They don't have no shoes on their feet. Oh, they're so poor. Let's send them some money. One guy went, and they said, you know what? This is an opportunity. They have no shoes on their feet. That simply means that we have a business because we could make shoes and sell them. And it never occurred to the other guy that, you know what? There was a business. There was an opportunity looking at those crusted feet. Yeah, there was a business. Are you looking for opportunities? Why do we need to look for opportunities? Because work doesn't just stop at the job. Because after you come from work, a great speaker, Dr. Miles Monroe, said, work starts after 5. What do you do when you come home from your job? Do you go to work? Work means you're working on those gifts and expertise so you can be better. So what? You can start with yourself. So you can create more value in yourself. And when there's more value in you, then people will extract from you, and then you can add a fee to that. Value, please write this down. Value is the extraction of resource. The extraction of resource. People always say value added. You can't add value to anybody. You cannot. After years of reading and looking at the books and look at what the research said, oh, value added, now it's in the marketplace. Value added. You really don't add value to anyone. Value is extracted from someone. As you sit here and listen to me, you're extracting. We just extract. And so that's why we got to start with ourselves. So we can build ourselves up. Okay? We can build ourselves up so we can become more valuable. We are already valuable. We have this value inside of us. So value, put value now, put a hyphen, and put able. What is value? Value is an ability. You can't add ability to people. Ability means able to do. Ability means able to do. So I have an ability to do something. Someone will extract that from me when they request that action or that skill for me to do. So value is not added, it's extracted from a source. And when you extract the value, it becomes a resource because you're reusing the source that you have extracted. We got to start with us. Where are you going? And who will you take with you? If we're talking about work-life balance, who are you going to take with you? Because remember when we stand on one leg, it starts to shake, right? The muscles are recruiting. The ones that are tired and exhausted are asking for help. So your body shakes because it's asking for help. Until you put the other leg down, this will collapse. The same thing with your work. If all you do is work and you don't get people to help you, it's going to collapse. You're going to collapse. Those areas are going to collapse. Physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, mental, social, financial. All of those areas affected if there's no balance. This is why we need to balance. Can we balance all of them at the same time? No. Where do you think is the most important part for us to start? Which one of those do you think is most important? Where would you start?
I'd probably start with, you have to be grounded. I would probably start with spiritual.
How many people would start with spiritual?
Because that should give you the direction to.
It can be, but
tackle the other ones.
Right, but it's different for everyone.
Oh no, I understand that.
It's different for everyone. So for you, you may be okay spiritual. The reason why I said that spiritual because we're all spirit beings. You know what I mean? And so if we understand this chemistry right here, this will affect this, and this will affect this. Intellectual will affect your mental, or your mental will affect that. Your mental and intellectual will affect how you socialize with other people.
Can I put my second one in? My second one would be intellectual. Spiritual first, but then using the intellect to provide the direction.
And so it may vary for different individuals. It may not, but what you have may be different from him, based on experience.
And it's right for each individual.
And it's right. For them, this is right for me. It feels right for me.
It's not one size fits all.
No. He said, which part of me do I want to replicate? That's why we're trying to find out where you are right now. And then when you stand up in the morning, you look in the mirror, do you see hurt? Do you see pain? Do you see, oh well, I wish I wasn't here? What do you see when you look in the mirror? That's why you're clapping, because you saw something that was good. You thought about something that made you feel good, and you just want to clap about it because you're happy about it. That's the part you want to replicate. That will help you to get through the day. What am I willing to lose in order to gain it? That's up to you. As you do your analysis about who you are, what happened during the day, that's up to you. What are you willing to lose to replicate that? Direction? Will any road get you there? No, be specific. A great pastor, writer, and author once said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Any road will get you there. Where is that? Nowhere. But another author and speaker once said, if you know who you are, if you don't know who you are, any identity will do. Somebody call you a fool? Yeah, that's me. An idiot? That's me. If you don't know who you are, any identity will do. But could you imagine a person that don't have the identity and don't know where they're going? Ooh, we have some of those in society. They're on the road. They're on the road. Now, it's 15 after, and we promised 45 minutes. There's a lot more to this. There's a lot deeper stuff, but this is just a general overview as we talk about work-life balance. The reason why work-life balance is important is because even though people may think it's an act, it's not an act. It's a way of maintaining stability in your mind, and so you can serve other people better. So you can serve your family. So you can serve those at work. So you can serve the gifts. So you can take your expertise, turn them into something so they can bring you some resources. We call that money. It took me, 6 years to write this book over here? Because I was doing some other things too, right? But then what I've done, I can't be everywhere at the same time. So someone will order this book across the ocean. They have that book. I don't have to go across the ocean. So what you're trying to do is to balance. When you balance, when you have balance, when you not stand on one leg, you stand on both legs. You're stable. And people are always gravitating towards stability. You draw other people to you when they see that you're stable. I'm going to pause right here. There's quite a bit more. The big picture, we're taking in a whole bunch of stuff. We're just taking it in and let it out. Nothing is stopping in the middle for us to digest it. Everything's got to be quick. Everything is on, hurry, let's go. Everything in bite size. We don't take time to read a book anymore. We just want it quick. You know, sometimes it's great to sit back and read a book, but some people may not want to read a book. They may get it from watching the video, they may get it from whatever. But take some time, because when we put these two together, we get a distance right inside here. There's a distance between when it comes in before it gets out. Take some time, as Grandma would say, let it marinate, let it sink in. And then from that, you can extrapolate what's good, what's necessary, what you need, and what you can improve on. Okay? That's what you want. You want to, the stuff that's coming in, don't just spit it out. Pause. So you can meditate. This is where the world needs to be. See the globe? You can impact the world when you do that. But if it just comes in and go out, nothing gets done. No one is changed. You can impact the world when you pause. That's the whole essence of work-life balance. Before you go to work, write these 5 things down. And you can do this every day. Number 1. You're going to be where you are. Just say, be where I'm at. Underneath there, you can put 3 little dash. If you're in the car, stay in the car. Drive. Don't think about work. Okay? If you're on the bus, just be on the bus. Enjoy the ride. If you're on the train, be there. Just enjoy the ride. Number 2, I have a gift. Number 3, the world needs what I have. The world needs what I have. Number 4, my value is extractable. My value is extractable. What do I mean? If people can't extract your value, you're no use. And number 5, just take 5 minutes. That's all it is. Number 5 is take 5 minutes in transition. Take 5 minutes in transition. What does that mean? Before you get out of the car, take 5 minutes. Before you get out of the car to go home, just take 5 minutes. You get to work, stay in the parking lot, take 5 minutes. Take 5. And don't just rush from one thing to the next. Just take 5. Take it. Force yourself to take 5. And it will help you with your balance. It will help you with the decisions that you have to make. It will help you with your stress level. It will help you with your emotional stability. It will help you to remain here longer so you can impact the world. Take 5. We just launched, I'm launching my new online university. It's called the Greatest Impact University. And those are the 4 areas that we're going to be focused on. We're going to have teach-ins, we're going to have interviews, we're going to have quite a bit of things that's happening. Website is coming soon, is greatestimpactuniversity.com. There's going to be live webinars on there where you can get information about work-life balance, fitness. My background is in kinesiology and rehab science, so therefore there's going to be rehab stuff that you can do. You can go watch a video, figure out how to strengthen those knees and those hips and so forth. There's going to be a plethora of things that's going to happen on there. So this is going to be the platform where all the stuff is going to happen. And so people can sign on. We're going to have a place on there for youth. We're going to have a spot on there for like parents, so students can log on and get information about bullying, whatever. Greatest impact. My goal in life is to help you to create your greatest impact in the 4 most important areas of your life, where you live, work, play, and play. Greatest Impact University. That's what we're talking about. And that's the goal of it. Okay? And this is it. Your mission is to what? Make your vision a visible cause worth replicating. That's your mission. To make your vision a visible cause worth replicating. Now, when you are gone, your children will want to do the same. And even do better. Take it to another level. That's what it's about. That's the balance. And any project that you want to do, you will have this in mind. It will help you to get it done. Okay? That's it. If you want to get in touch with me, follow me on Twitter, Andrew Guy Speaks. Twitter, Instagram, Andrew Guy Speaks. YouTube / Andrew Guy Speaks. And all my information is there. As I said, I go into the workplace and I do this kind of training, intrinsic model of leadership development. That's what I do. It's a half-a-day workshop I do. So if you have a business or workplace, you'd like me to come in and do some training, boom, we can get it done. All right? And we incorporate wellness in there. So make sure you tell your people that after seminar, you got to have some running shoes so they can get out there in a room somewhere, do their sit-ups, do their squats or whatever, so we can get the holistic approach to what? Creating your greatest impact. So that's what it's about. I have some books here. If you've never had one of my books before, feel free. Let me know. This one is tonight's price, $25 and $20. Okay. Also have the audiobook available online. If you just want to get the audiobook, you can download the audiobook and take it with you wherever you gotta go. But this is it. This is the platform where you're gonna find all the information on greatestimpactuniversity.com. It's coming, and our main focus on gratitude attitude will take you to a higher altitude. Everything that we do is to help you get higher, better. That's what it's about. All right. Any question? I'll give yourself a hand because you guys stayed. All right, so that's a short portion of it. There's a whole bunch more. I just skimmed the surface. Okay, so what we're going to do is you guys have these multiple intelligence quiz. I want you to take them home. As you take your 5 minutes, you take them home, and I want you to try to finish these. You can email me your results, okay? Or make sure I will send you out an email, and then when the next webinar, that means you wouldn't have to come here, providing real winter has kicked in, because I saw sunshine out there today. The real winter has kicked in, and you probably can do this from your house, right? You just log on, or I'll tell you where to go, and then you follow the link, you click and log on, and you can be in your house, and then we can really go deep on this stuff. All right? So that's kind of what it's about. All right? And if you want to receive my newsletter every month, just let me know. Information is there. We won't sell your stuff because I'm not into that. I'll just use it just to send you information and to keep in communication with you, to let you know when a new workshop is coming up. The next one is coming up on the 28th, and it's going to be a central, and we just want to talk about business. Because before there's business, we got to work on the person, the engine that could. You know what I mean? And so on the 28th, we're at Central, downtown Hamilton at the big location. It's supposed to be packed because everyone is coming out for what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about change management, the art of change management, right? How we manage change within the business. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. Quite a bit of people have already signed up, so get on the list and get in there on the 28th on...
Of January?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, and if you need a card or anything, let me know so I can get you a card so you can contact me for whatever. As a matter of fact, my information is there. You find me right here. This is my email, info@andrewguyspeaks.com. My assistant will get back to you. If you email anything here, my assistant David will be the one that communicate with you. All right, so if you get something that says David, that's still me. That's the person that takes care of my booking and stuff like that, my date. All right, so that's it. Thank you so much for coming. And if do you have any questions? Any questions? Okay. Yeah, okay. If you need to get the information, you can take a picture. Okay. All right. Okay, Facebook, we're done. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is Andrew Guy, and we just talk about work-life balance, how to create the right work-life balance, all right, in the 4 most important areas of your life. Until then, you take care, leave a comment, and then I'll get back to you later on. Until then, I'll see you. Peace. Remember, the goal is to help you to create your greatest impact in the 4 most important areas of your life. Until then, peace.